Hey guys, David here, and welcome to Digital Outlook. Guys, I sure hope you had an absolutely fantastic Monday. And guys, I got my Vancouver Canucks hoodie on here, and I've got it on because today I've been out there working on our solar with my son Caleb there, and I'll tell you what a job. And it's a little cool out here. But what I feel kind of bad because although I got my Vancouver Canucks hoodie on, I'm actually a Calgary Flames fan. I really love the Flames, and I have since Lanny McDonald was the captain of the team and they won the Stanley Cup. So that's a long ways back there, by the way. Guys, things are going on and big time today. We got 11 of these ETFs that are now, looking to be approved here in November, being listed already on the DTCC, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corp. That right there, guys, tells you what you need to know for what's coming up, because when these ETFs go live, I genuinely do believe that we are going to see a big pump in the price of XRP. And that alone, the fact that they got these ETFs, come on guys, you got Canary Capital out there, Franklin Templeton, Bitwise, and a bunch of other ones. Big deals. And they're all going to be competing with one another to sell these contracts for these exchange-traded funds. Well, the spot ETFs are required, as we know, to hold that underlying asset. Guys, that's going to create a demand for XRP. And even right now today, of course, with this whole government shutdown, looking like it's completely over. Well, of course, we're seeing a big pump in the market all the way around. Here, XRP, we're back up to 253. Now, guys, I honestly believe that we could see a move above 450 within the next few weeks here, a couple of weeks. And then beyond that, I think it's going to go really wild. A lot of people are out there. Of course, we have our good friend Jake Claver, and I love Jake. Jake is someone I consider a personal friend, is a great guy, and he had called for 750 by the end of the year, and we know that he put some conditions on it. Certain dominoes had to fall in order for that to happen. Well, if we get those dominoes, guys, maybe we're going to see something that will blow our ever-loving minds, and we all want Jake to be right, that is for sure. But we are definitely seeing the movement forward of things in this space, and we're watching it happen in real time right now. Almost now, you really don't even have to go out there and say too much anymore because the evidence is all around us. So on Turning Point today, I pulled up an article with Larry Fink talking about the tokenization basically of all these markets, and it's right there. Now, guys, just check this headline out right here. Now, you're talking Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. Guys, these folks, I mean, they're the big players, right? They got thumbs in every pie. We're talking about what? Something like $8 to $13 trillion of assets under management. Absolutely mind-bending. And when you get the likes like that, and where were they just recently? Well, of course, November 4th and 5th, representatives of BlackRock at Ripple swell. Guys, I think we could honestly see an XRP exchange-traded fund being listed by BlackRock, especially when BlackRock is out there promoting the tokenization of all these ETFs. I mean, seriously, we're literally at the springboard of watching things take off, and yet so many people are getting themselves fudded out, or they don't want to believe it, or they're putting it down, or they're just absolute talking total nonsense. And we have been here consistently, guys, from June of 2022, just letting you know, hey, look, this is going to be happening. This is what's taking place. What you need to know about ISO and crypto. Remember that video there? Well, that was done back in 2022. And look where we are. On I think it's November 20th or November 25th, the ISO standard is going to be, that's it, no more extensions around the wide world. And you're watching it happen, and the legislation that's happening all around the world with respect to, how are they going to classify all these various assets? How is it going to work out with the decentralized identities and all that? And all the ducks are just getting in a row. And I'll tell you what, it has got us so bullish about what to expect. And I would not let yourself get discouraged. I'll tell you, if you've lived through the last couple weeks and you did not fully capitulate and all that kind of stuff, and you were able to weather through that, well, good on you, because I'll tell you, you just earned some stripes in this space. Because talk about fear. Oh my gosh, the fear and greed index in this space, the fear just going like crazy. And a lot of people do react like that. And I totally understand it. Judy and I understand it. We know what it's like to actually enter and you got all these hopes going on and you have all this expectation and you've never ever experienced a market like this before. And of course, it tests you on levels you never even imagined you had. And you get there. Well, guys, I want you to be able to actually play to win like we did. We played to win, and even in that capacity, boy, were we ever put to the test. And I think we made some big-time mistakes there that we should not have made. But thank God for what we did see. And this is where I'm always out there and promoting the fact that you got to get yourself strategically ready. That is for certain. And tomorrow, I'm starting out my coaching. I'm going to be coaching a bunch of folks tomorrow, bunch of folks Wednesday, bunch of folks Thursday. And guys, I did open up the 18th, the 19th, and 20th. And it interests you to meet with me for that 1 hour, you and me, one-on-one over Zoom, where we literally will take a look at your portfolio and make sure that it is balanced towards the achievement of your goals, helping you to develop that exit strategy and get yourself strategically ready for what's happening and being able to identify a lot of the psychology of the market and employ some really strategic, techniques that you can employ to make a big difference. Things that we did. And so if that interests you, you just visit me at thedigital.outlook.com. Get yourself on the calendar. Things are really speeding up big time. Now, one of the things I also want to talk about here and kind of get out there is, look, we've been here and we saw just a few weeks back what it was like when this thing all tanked and everyone's trying to get in there on their exchanges and they could not. Well, guys, I'm going to tell you, when things start firing off like crazy, it is a race to the trough. And if you have goals up there that you're wanting to achieve, you're going to want to have your options available to you. And Judy and I, we have multiple exchanges, but the biggest thing for us was we had Caleb and Brown because you could not sign on. And we had been saying that, and it just got proved to a lot of these exchanges. You just couldn't get on. The servers couldn't handle the traffic. But with Caleb and Brown, you could pick up the phone, you could call a broker, you could send an email, and you could actually get your trades executed. And we got a link right down there in the description of the video where you could sign up for Caleb and Brown. And it doesn't even cost you 1 penny, by the way, guys, to sign up for Caleb and Brown. It's absolutely free. And there is no fee for you when you actually talk to your broker and do that as many times as you like. You don't pay anything for that. You don't pay anything for custody or any of it. The only time you pay anything is when you buy and when you sell. And for a lot of folks, actually, with a lot of these withdrawal fees and things like that, the fee that you pay for having that access to a broker when you're really going to need one is next to nothing when you compare to the fact of not even being able to execute it and all these other tacked on fees that a lot of these other exchanges use. So guys, if that interests you, get over to Caleb and Brown and look them up and read about it. Get to know it for yourself. That is the biggest thing that Judy and I have encouraged so much in all the time that we've been in is getting out there, as you know, and digging it up for yourself. But it is exciting to see what we're seeing in this space. A lot of the things that we had talked about for a long time are actually coming to fruition. You know, we talked about the lawsuit, how that was going to end. It did. We've talked about the ETFs, how they were going to come into play. They are. And we've talked about the regulatory clarity pieces and how they're going to fall into place, and they will. And we have talked about a long time where we are going to see this thing take off. And I'm going to tell you what, they are kicking the tires. They are lighting the fires. And I absolutely believe, guys, we are going to see it fire off and blast right through the atmosphere, straight past the moon and all the way through Jupiter. And I want you sitting right there in that seat right beside us, buckled up when we absolutely take the ride of our lives. Guys, it is going to be phenomenal. And the fact that so many people are missing it is mind-numbing to me. But they will look back and they'll think, why didn't I know? And they're going to ask you those questions. They're going to say, hey, how did you know and why didn't you tell me? Right there, those two questions. You're going to be able to say, hey, I knew because I was keeping my ear to the ground. And secondly, I told you a 1,000 ways from Sunday. You just wouldn't listen. That's what it's going to be like, guys. It's going to be something amazing, and I can't wait. We are literally, in my belief, we are right there. And I'll tell you what, guys, until tomorrow, we're going to have another absolutely amazing coffee chat. Read the articles right down in there. Get yourself ready. It is going to be something else. And until then, guys, have a fabulous one and take care.